If you are so serious about making money, this is the channel for you.
Hello there and welcome in this lecture in which we're going to create our first custom GPT, which is going to be a logo builder or logo designer. Imagine having an expert logo designer at your disposal, or creating a logo designer for a client, putting it on the GPT store soon to come this particular week. And imagine people, they want to create logos, but they don't want to go through the hassle of hiring a freelancer every time they want to create a logo. We can simplify life for them tremendously and help them with a custom GPT that creates logos for them that we can create for them in simple steps. Now here, as you can see, these images, most of them generated by AI. For example, this one of me in a costume was actually generated by AI. I just used the swap face technology on Midjourney to swap my face with that person. And even this particular banner here, or thumbnail for a new course that I've released, I designed it using none other than the ChatGPT DALL-E 3. Now, we can actually accomplish this. Now, let me walk you through the steps. But first of all, we got to talk about the two versions of ChatGPT that exist. I'm sure most of you are aware, but let's just talk about them. There is GPT-4, which is the premium plus version of ChatGPT. Then we have GPT 3.5. Now, GPT-4, you pay $20 for it, but it's necessary if you want to create custom GPTs. If you only have access to the free version, this course is not for you. You will not be able to create GPTs, and you will not be able to publish GPTs on the GPT store, just so you know. And it costs $20 to get the GPT-4, I would say, for yourself. So GPT 3.5, we're not going to use it. And GPT 3.5, if I may click, it's very basic. All you can do is to message it like saying hi or write a blog post and so on and so forth. But you cannot upload a document. You cannot upload images or PDFs or anything like that or an Excel spreadsheet. And also you have a lot of limitations. Now, right here, in my case, I have access to writing styles because I'm using a extension, which is called APRM Premium. And if I go to a new chat right here by clicking, I can go out into a new chat. Notice here, my ChatGPT might look a little bit different than yours because I have access to APRM Premium, which gives me access at this moment that we're talking to 4,678 prompts, which you can have access to as well for free if you would like. And it's an extension that you install on your Chrome browser. It is this one right here. Now, APRM for ChatGPT is free, but there is a pro version to it that I pay for it. And the only reason why I pay for it is because I want to have access to these writing styles, academic, analytical, argumentative, conversational, so on and so forth, and to tones such as confident, cynical, emotional, and so on and so forth. And also it gives me access to all the prompts in here. Now, these prompts, you can use them for some if you're using GPT 3.5, and for some, you can only use them if you have GPT-4. And so here, you can see all of these prompts, which some of them, for instance, the most infamous is writing a 100% unique SEO-optimized blog post and article by just simply clicking on that particular thing or prompt. And you can just type in whatever the subject is you want to write about. So let's say, for example, you want to write a blog post about ChatGPT. You don't know the title. You just want to write a blog post or an article about ChatGPT. In this case, it's going to go ahead and write an article about ChatGPT, and it's fast as lightning, SEO optimized, great with bullets and headlines, and with a frequently asked questions section, a conclusion. So it's an all-encompassing article, which you would usually buy on Fiverr for a price that is not less than maybe $50. And I sold articles in my lifetime. I was a copywriter, and I'm still a copywriter, except for I'm doing it for my own business. Now, GPT 3.5, that's it. GPT-4, you have access to multiple other things, such as DALL-E, which can generate images. Now, let's try DALL-E for a second. Let's say you want to generate a 3D ebook mockup for your book, the 226 ChatGPT Prompts Playbook. Let's say that that's our book. I'm going to say generate a 3D ebook mockup for a book titled 226 plus ChatGPT Prompts Playbook, and make sure to make no mistake in spelling and writing the words. Write it as is 100% accurate. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because if I didn't say so, and even if, quite frankly, even if I say so, there's a big possibility that it will generate a 3D ebook mockup, except for it will have some errors, which we don't want to have. We don't want to have errors included in our mockup. So that's why you need to make sure that in your prompt, you don't just ask it to generate a 3D ebook mockup, but also ask it to generate a 3D ebook mockup with no mistake. It's as fast as lightning. It's the fastest I've seen, faster than Leonardo AI, and faster than Midjourney when it comes to generating the image. Now here, the image was generated, except for the fact I think I have to refresh this page because I cannot see it. Now I'm refreshing the page and I will go to that particular chat in which there is, actually I didn't have to because I'm still on the chat. I just needed to refresh. So here, as you can see, this is the image. Now there is a mistake to it, which normally this should be ChatGPT. Now here it wrote prompts playbook, everything else is correct, but the ChatGPT part of it was mistaken. So I'm gonna say, please write it 100% correct, 100% correct, and all right, let me do something else, and make no mistake. And I can also give it some, I would say some remarks about how I want the book mockup to be. So, for instance, in my book here, if you have a look at it, it's green, and also it has the AI vibe, and passive income Gen Z is written at the bottom. So let's say I want that. So I'm going to say, make sure the book theme is green, AI, lines, and technology, and make sure to write passive, right, and I'm going to put it between brackets, passive income Gen Z in the bottom of the book as the name of the author, right? And I'm just going to hit enter. Hopefully this time around doesn't make mistakes. Now, if it makes mistakes for 10 times, you just have to accept the fact that it makes mistakes. Keep doing it until you get the right response. Now, we could create a custom GPT that creates these types of mockups. Now, of course, it's not on the list of custom GPTs that we will create since we're going to create 10. Now, I could show you a course on how to create 226 GPTs, but that would take us maybe 100 hours to do. So I don't want to make it a 100 hours course. I just want to show you the basics. And after that, you can go and apply these things that you will learn in this course to any GPT that you create. And quite frankly, I think that would be enough. So here, again, 226 plus ChatGPT prompts. Again, it's making mistakes. And again, it didn't write passive income Gen Z. But as you can see, it's not too bad, not too far from bad. This is DAL-E, right? So DAL-E 3. Now, I can go back right here. I can click on a new chat. And right here, I can click on GPT-4. Now, GPT-4 is not like GPT 3.5, wherein it has the browsing with Bing feature. The reason why it's browsing with Bing and not browsing with Google is because ChatGPT and Google are competitors, and because Google has Google Bard. So if you go and search for Google Bard, recently they basically integrated Gemini AI into it. And so it's basically to make it better. Now, Google Bard has its own advantages. And Google Bard, the main advantage, in my opinion, is that it's a dynamic chatbot, which means it can directly communicate to the web and get the information from Google directly. Now, if you think about this, ChatGPT, when it first came out, the data of ChatGPT was limited to January, that of 2021, and it was not able to browse the web. Right now, with GPT-4, is able to browse the web with Bing, not with Google, because it's Google and ChatGPT are enemies. So they browse the web with Bing only if you have the ChatGPT 4 version, which means that they beat Google Bard to it. So they can use search engines to browse the web for real-time data. Also, for GPT 3.5, the ChatGPT knowledge is not limited as it was in the past to January 2021. It's actually limited to that of, I think, March of or April of 2023. So even if you're using GPT 3.5, the knowledge that it has is not really, really old. And by the way, ChatGPT is a static model, so every year they basically they update the knowledge of ChatGPT to that of the past year. So, and they will do it next year. So for next year, 2024, they will do the same thing they did. And quite frankly, I think GPT-4 is a good investment. Now, one more thing that GPT-4 has, apart from, of course, browsing with Bing, which is tremendous, it has the ability to do advanced data analysis. So if you're into data analytics, and you're a data analytics expert, or you're doing side hustles as a data analytics person, then you can use ChatGPT to accomplish this. Also, you have to know that you can only send and receive 40 answers during 3 hours. That's the cap of ChatGPT at the moment. I'm talking of GPT-4. GPT 3.5 is for free, so if you're a Plus user, you can use it all the time. You don't have to run away of battery. But if you're using it for free, if you don't have the Plus plan, they can actually tell you to go, and they will put you on a wait list if you use it for more than an hour, according to my experience of 1 year and I think 1 month right now. Because that's primarily the how much or when ChatGPT first came out. Now, another thing that ChatGPT has is the ability for you to upload files. So you can click on this, which is not possible in GPT-4, GPT 3.5. So you can upload a file. So for instance, let me, for example, go and upload this particular profile of some client of mine that I was targeting using LinkedIn. And I just wanted to create a tailor-made message. So here, we've uploaded the profile of the person, which I downloaded from LinkedIn. And I can say, do a deep analysis of this person. And I can just hit enter, and it has the profile. We'll do a deep analysis of the person, which can help me in the outreach, because understanding the person, understanding really going into details about the person can help to convince them better, because the message will be much more, I would say, powerful. So here it is basically doing everything. So talking about the person, his current role, his target engagers, and so on and so on and so forth. And you can at all times pause ChatGPT from continuing by clicking here. It will stop. And if you want it to continue generating, you can just have to click on continue, and it will continue generating again. And it will just start again. I'm just going to click here to stop it. And finally, we have the plugins. Now, the plugins are basically a way for companies to, let's just say, integrate themselves with ChatGPT. So imagine a company, for instance, like Canva. They know that there's 100 million users for ChatGPT every single day, which is quite true, actually. And most of these are Plus users, by the way. So they're paying the $20. And they know that that's a huge traffic. So they want to get a piece of that. How can they do it? Well, they can create a plug-in and plug themselves into ChatGPT, which means that, for instance, here, we have this Canva plugin. And by the way, if you want to download plugins, just scroll down, click on the plugin store, and search for said plugin. For example, if you're searching for Canva, make sure you write it right without any grammatical mistakes. And you can install it like you would install an app. And basically, after you install the plugin, you only have access to enable 3 plugins at a time. You cannot enable all the plugins. But for instance, if you click on that particular plugin, let's just say that, for example, you want to have access to maybe a template that you want to use for an Instagram reel to create an ad for maybe, or an Instagram reel about a restaurant or a coffee shop. So here you can say, I want to create an Instagram reel for a coffee shop. Please suggest some great templates. And what it will do, because I'm activating the Canva plugin. By the way, when you're activating plugins, you're not using GPT. You're not using GPT-4. You're actually using just the plugins, all right? And I think it's GPT-4. I'm not sure about this, but you cannot click on GPT-4 from here. So you can't generate images, you cannot upload files, you cannot do most of the things that you will be able to do with GPT-4. Now here, as you can see, here are some great Instagram reel templates for coffee shops. So for example, here it gives us this one. And better yet, it gives you the link. So you can click on that link. It will take you immediately to Canva, immediately to the template, which means that you don't have to go to Canva and search for that particular template in the templates. And the great news is that you can just go down right here and you can say, generate a headline for my reel. And I can just stop it. No, actually, it stopped by itself, so I don't need to stop it. And you can just say, generate a headline for my reel, and you can come around here and remove this headline and replace it with your headline. So for example, and it depends on if you're working with a client, depends on the name of their business. If they want to integrate a logo as part of their reel, maybe this is their logo, for example, and you want to put it here or here. The video, by the way, you can change the video. I'll show you how to do that. But discover the cozy charm of our coffee haven. Let's say, for example, that's something you want to put as a bullet. You can come right here and paste it maybe here. And as you can see, we've changed this. You can click on that video, remove it. You can maybe click on this and give it a coffee vibe by going right here and maybe going a little bit more brown. And you can go right here to elements and look for a coffee. And there's plenty of videos for coffee that you can utilize. So for instance, maybe you'd be interested to add this one. You can click it. Now, of course, we can go ahead and reduce the transparency of it so that it's not overwhelming. Maybe put it at 60. And we can basically increase the size of it like this and maybe place it right over here a little bit, just like this. And as you can see, this is pretty interesting. And yeah, so this is, and you can position it, like position, backward, 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 and making sure you click this, maybe changing the color of the text into a more 100% white color. And maybe if you want to maybe even remove this and maybe add a call to action that says shop now, right? So it's all customizable. And as you can see, plugins make it easier. Now, of course, I don't want to make this a Canva course. By the way, I'm a Canva expert. I've also received a, I hate to brag, but I received some I would say achievements from Canva themselves, which very, very few people achieve. I think at this moment we're speaking, maybe I've designed more than 4,000 plus designs. And so very, very few people have that in their, I would say, in their portfolio. Many people, very few people can say they've designed 4,000 plus designs and accomplished. Now, those are the ones I've downloaded and I've used. Of course, there are plenty of thousands that I didn't download. And so the number is much more higher than that. But I know what I'm saying when it comes to Canva. So here, as you can see, this is pretty interesting. Also here, for instance, I could probably go for a different color. Maybe I can go for white color, even for the coffee. And as you can see right now, you got yourself a reel that we can just click right here, and you can click download, and you can download it as an MP4, and you can later on upload to Instagram. By the way, Canva has a feature. Now the reel is being downloaded, by the way, but Canva has a feature in which you can share this directly to Instagram by clicking here. And basically, you can just click immediately post, continue, and you have to connect your Instagram by basically scanning through the QR code, connecting your Instagram account with Canva. And anytime you want to share this on Instagram, you can share it immediately without having to take the video itself, download it, post it manually on Instagram. This is a very, very good way. And by the way, this is only something you can do if you're using the Pro plan of Canva. If you're using a free plan, you will not be able to do it. Now, that's it for this particular lecture of introducing you to ChatGPT and the mysteries and wonders that it can do. In the next lecture, I'm going to introduce you to other things and to the Explore feature, which is basically a feature that we're going to be utilizing, which gives you access to the GPT creation, I would say, a creation part where you can create all your GPTs. That's that, and I will see you in the next lecture.